people experience Bard through an app.
Yep.
No app, no bueno. Seriously, I'm not joking. If I was in charge, if I was Sundar and Sergey, I would be so on fire about this. I would create 5 teams.
Yep.
I'd lock them up. I'd say you get $10 million each to build a team. You could have 5 people at $2 million. You could have 3 people at $3 million. I don't care what it is. Overpay people, give them bonuses, and whoever makes the best one. I'm going to have all 5 on my phone, and whichever one I use the most is the winner. And we're going to let the audience download 5 different versions. We're going to have 5 Bards, Bard 1 through 5. I know this sounds crazy. I would release Bard 1 through 5, Bard experiments. Yep. There's 5 different interfaces for Bard, and you get to name it Bard something.
Yeah.
And then just let the audience play with it and tell you, because ChatGPT's interface is elegant and simple.
This Week in Startups is brought to you by Nuts.com is your one-stop shop for the highest quality foods for business. They offer delicious office snacks, corporate gifts, and wholesale ingredients. Nuts.com is offering new customers a free gift with purchase and free shipping on orders of $29 or more at nuts.com/twist. Coda is the all-in-one doc for teams. Get started for free and get a $1,000 startup credit at coda.io/twist. And Ketone-IQ is a clean energy boost without sugar or caffeine. Get 30% off your first subscription order of Ketone-IQ at hvmn.com/twist.
All right, everybody, welcome back to This Week in Startups. It's Madra Mondays. We're back with Sunny Madra to do AI demos. Welcome back to the program, Sandeep.
Good to be back. Good to be back. It's a busy, busy day. 2024. It's like the real kickoff of 2024 today.
This is the day.
Yeah.
January 8th.
Yes.
The real kickoff. Not January 6th. Trigger warning. No, we won't talk about that. But we will talk about January 8th because everybody's back in the office or back at their virtual desktop, whatever they're doing. And
in their email, there's something about AI, for sure.
100%. Why aren't we AIing this? Why aren't we AIing that? And, I was just on a LP call before we started this taping, and I was just talking about, they were asking me, hey, what companies are you really excited about? And I mentioned 2 companies that I'm super excited about.
Can we get Can we get a clip? Can you tell us a little taste?
Well, I mean, Podcast AI is one, and you can see that at thisweekinstartups.com and podcastai.com. And they're doing what our producers do. They transcribe the episode, they identify the speakers, they generate chapters, they do descriptions, titles, tags, all of that stuff in seconds. And then they're going to allow you in some new features to make clips, right? Automatically. Mm-hmm. So, when you put up an episode, you wait for a transcript, you wait for the chapter titles. This is all just done now with AI. So it saves about, doing a transcript in the old days, that would be, hours and hours of work per hour, maybe 10 hours to 1 if you were doing like a high quality transcript.
Yep.
Then, as AI got better, figuring out who the speakers are, all of that, like very tight, making sure that names are correct, all that stuff. Yeah. And doing tags and stuff like that, suggesting titles, suggesting descriptions, all that is done now in seconds. And I'd say it saves 10 to 30 hours per podcast episode.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if you saw this, but Duolingo cut 10% of its contractors as it uses more AI to create content. So it's all related.
Yes. Anything that is information work can be done by a large language model quicker. And the same thing with illustrations. And conversely, I've been looking at startups and I was wondering about photography, stock photography and other things the other day. And I was like, is there going to be a stock photography business in the future where you license a photo and pay for it? Or why wouldn't you just go and create a photo to your spec with a prompt? And if I'm doing illustrations that way for my blog post now, I used to go to 500 pixels or Creative Commons to try to get an image to put as a header image or use a funny GIF. But, you want to respect copyright and all that stuff. And now, will there be a photography industry? I don't know. Like getting a headshot done.
Really high end, kind of like, you'll have to really it'll become even more expensive.
Yeah. And then we have this other company, Malengo, And what they do is really interesting. Again, this is like one of these wild companies, but they went through our accelerator. And you can take an item like a hoodie, and you can't see this on their website. Their builder is not public. You have to sign up, etc. But what they do is, let's say you were an artist. You want to have merch. Let's say we want to do merch for, Madra Mondays and This Week in Startups.
Oh, wow.
You go on here, you use AI, you describe what you want, and you say, hey, put Sunny and Jason's photos on this. You upload, and it makes them, and then it does a short run of 50 of them, but it handles all the back end sourcing. Yeah.
You are the world's greatest moderator because we are going to demo another one of these today.
Great. So here you can
and a world's greatest angel investor, apparently. Because
we're trying. Not all of us can be Billy, but shout out to Billy. True world's greatest, but unknown. Yeah. And so every startup I'm looking at, it's either, is this startup going to be killed by AI, or is it going to kill it using AI? Is it going to get killed, or is it going to kill it? Yeah. And, I was looking at SDRs, sales development reps, and getting leads. And I have startups in the portfolio that help people do that. And then I have startups pitching me, and I'm like, wow, new companies pitching me, killing old companies. It's kind of wild, all at the same time. And it's reminiscent. I don't know I think you had the same experience when you were running, what was your dev shop?
Extreme Labs.
Extreme Labs in Canada. And you had 300 or 400 developers in Canada, I believe.
Yep.
I mean, this is exactly what happened with mobile, correct?
It is, but there's one major difference this time, and I've never seen this in my career. Competition is across every facet of technology. You can be competing against hyperscalers who are creating AI, obviously they have the building blocks for AI, and then they're building on top of that. So hyperscalers are like GCP, AWS, Azure. You also have the incumbents who are creating AI features into their application SaaS services, and then all the startups. And so everyone is in the arena together right now. And we've never seen that before. And so in mobile, that wasn't the case because, people didn't really believe in it, and it was easy for startups to kind of get into the game there. And we saw a lot of that take off. So that's one thing I'll say is really different this time around.
And I don't know if you saw breaking news. OpenAI responded. I think you may have shared in our group chat. OpenAI responded to the New York Times lawsuit. And it's, I don't want to say explosive, but they're pretty much saying training data is fair use, which is completely, I think, a losing case. But, I understand they have to take that. It's a stance.
They've come and taken that stance, and we got to give them credit for that, right?
Yeah, for communicating.
Yeah, that's awesome. At least, that's what we're going to see this year.
Listen, in business, the tiny details, they really matter. And if you want to close a customer or you want to boost employee morale at your company, a great way to do that is by sending some delightful snacks. Gifting is back. Everybody loves to get a gift, especially in this remote era. And Nuts.com is basically the business person's version of the Willy Wonka chocolate factory, except they have so much more than just chocolate. They've got an amazing selection of all the nuts you love, cashews, almonds, pistachios, etc. And people love nuts because they're healthy, right? But they got all the classic candies too, because we like to spoil ourselves. We like a little something sweet, butterscotch, fudge, licorice, all that great stuff. And for people who all want to go in between nuts and candy, you got dried fruits. Of course, my daughters love dried fruits, and I feel pretty good about giving it to them. Sometimes a better option than just straight up candy. So Nuts.com offers plenty of gluten-free options as well, so you can be thoughtful for the people who are gluten-free in your life, organic choices if you're on a health kick, and other diet-friendly products, and they will sell directly to businesses, so you can shop a la carte, or you can opt into hassle-free auto delivery so you never run out at your business, right? I'll say it again. Little details in business matter, and you can get all those details right at Nuts.com. It's crazy. It's nuts. It's Nuts.com. Right now, Nuts.com is offering new customers a free gift with any purchase and free shipping on orders of $29 or more at Nuts.com/twist. Go check out all the delicious options at Nuts.com/twist. You'll receive a free gift and free shipping when you spend $29 or more. That's Nuts.com/twist.
All right, should we get into it?
Let's do the first demo. First up, what's the name of the company and what do they do?
Okay, first up, it's called Roomreinvented, roomreinvented.com. They got a really nice URL. And what they do is they allow you to take a picture of a room, and they don't allow people to buy more credits. Otherwise, I would have. They don't even have billing turned on yet. This is I took this empty like a, very standard New York or LA apartment, kind of with one, not even like a full patio, empty room. And then they allow you to upload it, and then you can pick a type of style you want to decorate the room in. And I picked a couple ones here.
Okay, so Roomreinvented.com lets you transform your space using AI. So you take a picture of a space, and it says, here you go. Now, this has existed in the form of augmented reality, where you buy a couch at IKEA and you can take your phone out and kind of see what the couch might look like in your room.
Yeah.
But this is an AI interior designer, I think.
Yeah. And honestly, like what I really like about it, and, I wish they said more credits because I would have done this room in a couple different styles, but like, this is just looking at this room in like a Scandinavian style, right? Which is what it picked. And here I did this bohemian style. And so maybe you're not quite sure what you want to do with your room. And, they have all these styles here that I'm clicking through for those that are listening. And so you can do rustic, art deco, coastal, contemporary. And, what I think this is the step before you're starting to put the furniture in.
Yes.
It's like, hey, how do I want this room to look? And what do you think it would look like in these various styles? And I picked these two dramatically different ones, obviously Bohemian and Scandinavian are opposite ends of the spectrum.
One is sparse and one is colorful, playful, eclectic, whatever.
Exactly. And you could do ayahuasca in here or something and it'd be fine.
It looks like you could do some kind of a ceremony sitting on the floor there. And then the other one, Scandinavian, looks like you could play Scrabble sitting on the floor. Or some other, drink tea. Yeah. You both would be drinking tea. What's great about this is, you think about information jobs. And information arbitrage. What does a designer do at their core? They have information. What is the information they contain? What is the secret to their consulting gig where they get to charge? A designer is $100, $200, $300 per hour.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And some of them charge 10% on top of whatever they buy for you.
Purchases,
So if you are an affluent person redesigning a $1 million, multi-million-dollar home, you could be looking at somebody spending 200 hours at $200 an hour. This is not insignificant money for a base fee. And then if they buy, $300,000, $400,000 worth of furniture, another 30 or 40 grand, you could be in for $100,000 in design fees. Here, the knowledge that an interior designer has is, what are the styles? What is the lexicon? What is the language? And what this did for us is it taught us, this is Bohemian, this is Scandinavian. This is, shabby chic. I've heard that. This is French country. I've heard that term before, but I don't know what it is. And what would be great is, and that's glam. I've heard that too. So the fact that it's teaching you and starting you on second and third base, I see this also happening with what's another information arbitrage, high paid career or job, being a lawyer or a doctor. And so here, being a doctor, I'm going to use AI to get me to second or third base, to get me to the 20-yard line, get me into the red zone, and then I'll use the expert for the red zone. So in this case, I would come to my designer and say, I know I want shabby chic. I know I want to spend this amount.
I took my room. I tried these other ones out. It didn't feel right. Bohemian, not quite right. Scandinavian, hey, that's kind of what I'm thinking about.
Right. So if it was a 200-hour job at, all in with the fees and everything, 300, that's $60,000 in fees. And I know this sounds like a crazy number, but this is what, upper middle class to affluent people pay to design a home and make it look really nice. Now you're like, you know what? Instead of 300 hours and $60,000, I think I need 30 hours and $6,000. I need 10%.
Yeah.
Now, does this match you with places to buy it yet?
No. Right now, it's just a service that's doing the design. And so, and it's very hot off the presses. Like I said, you can't even buy credits. Like
I give it a B. I give it a B. It's B. It could be better. B for better. It's not a B minus. It's not a C, obviously. It's a B because it shows this amazing potential. And for me, as a B, what would make it an A? If when I have those photos, it just said, here are 4 different couches that match the style in this photo. Here's where you buy them. And by the way, they can then get an affiliate fee of 1 to 5% probably on it, instead of me paying 10% to a designer. So we all save, we all make more money. Everybody's got a more beautifully designed home.
Yeah.
What is your grade?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same place. We don't do this a lot, but I'm at B as well. I think it has like the bones to be something really, really powerful. Yes. I think you could see a lot of people spending time on this, especially if you're going through a redesign of like, hey, let me try different things out. And then they could also use AI because those things that are being generated in there are probably being generated through the training data from that was put into the image model. But if they can find similar things as well, that could be interesting too, in terms of using AI to go find those things on the web. So there's a lot of potential here. So it's early. I give it a B, and looking forward to seeing how they continue to grow out the feature set on this one.
Yeah. And, it's interesting with the frequently asked questions on the website. I notice they're cutting you off at the pass, knowing you're going to ask what happens with my uploaded images. And they say they are used by the algorithm to render your room, and for nothing else, your data belongs to you. So already we're starting to see a standard emerge. Your information is yours. We're not going to use it to train our data. And I think that'll be the gold standard now for all AI.
Yeah. That is something I think is going to have to become more explicit in 2024 because of, we started with the lawsuit and other things, but I think there's going to be a lot of clarity, like almost, I don't know if it's going to be like the cookies, because I find that really annoying where it's like, hey, but like,
so annoying.
I think exactly, but there's going to be some form of that emerge to make it very explicit and clear that the data that you're giving the LLM or AI, whichever version of AI you're using, is not being used for future training data.
We have a company called NeighborBright. They came to our founder.university program where we help people learn how to build a company. Here's what NeighborBright does. It is an AI-powered inspiration for your yard.
Yes.
So you take a picture of your front yard, and here you go. Yeah. Boom. So what does a landscaper do? A landscaper has information on what plants and what styles, etc. So you want something that's desert, you want something that's rustic.
It's landscape designer you need for this.
Yes, landscape designer.
Yeah.
And so why not use AI for a landscape design and then bring it to a gardener and export a list of things you have to buy, or connect you with the gardener.
Yeah.
And
this is great. Yeah. This is really cool. Yeah.
It's a neat company. They're doing all kinds of neat things, but the last thing people deal with is their front yards, right? Or their backyards. It's like the last thing people deal with. And it's the perfect job for AI because you just highlight what's going on here. As you can see on the screen, it's looking at like a bunch of cement, the curb, little patches of dirt. And it's like, what can we do to make this better? Boom. Yeah. And over time, these things are going to be like,
they've done this. Yeah. Same thing. Japanese, Mediterranean. Awesome. Yeah.
Or a garden. I want vegetables. I want herbs. So you kind of tell it what you want and it gets to work. You could also imagine here that it connects you with a landscaper, or you put your budget in, or you say, I'm willing to knock down or build retaining walls. I'm willing to do some construction. So I want to do something myself. I want to do something with a gardener. I want to do something with a landscape architect. I want to do some construction here, build retaining walls or flower beds. So you could probably also have a scale that just says, how much do you want to spend? The least amount possible, the most amount possible. On your maintenance, you want high maintenance or low maintenance? I might say, I want low maintenance. Like, I don't want to have grass. So I want low maintenance, put a lot of rocks in there, and give me a bunch of cactuses, and I'm done. Give me the lowest maintenance, lowest cost, right? This is really, really inspiring. And I think these tools should all be free to design the stuff, and then have you pay when you want the upgraded services. Like, here's my list of things to buy. Here's where to buy them. Here's, a transaction with a professional. So there's a lot of ways to make money from this. I love the marketplace idea for these. I love the, here's your shopping list idea for these. And I think these will be, you're going to have Roomreinvented.com, NeighborBright.com. All of these things, you'll have competition from Home Depot for something similar, or Crate and Barrel. So you're going to have like 3 or 4 different ways to do this. Retailers will do it. IKEA will do it, obviously. And then you'll have people who are best of breed who, will let you comparison shop. And that's where it gets super powerful.
Yeah. I think, like I said, good initial, grade, and let's just see it more vertically integrated into a marketplace. Could be really powerful.
Yeah. All right. Great first demo. Let's keep moving. When you're in the startup business, you should always be looking for a performance edge. There are simple ways to do this, like getting better sleep. We all know that. But let me tell you about a little hack that elite athletes and US military members use. It's called Ketone-IQ. A bunch of the quantified self people like Andrew Huberman have been talking about the benefits of ketones recently, and Ketone-IQ is a ketone shot that was developed through a contract with DARPA to make American soldiers sharper. You can think of ketones as nature's brain fuel. They have a bunch of proven health benefits like improved focus and weight loss, and Ketone-IQ is a clean energy boost with no sugar and no caffeine. I have been on it for a couple of months now, and my energy level has gone up, 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 and my focus as well. I love taking these shots. I take it in the morning before I work out. I take it when I'm skiing, and man, it makes you feel like a superhero. So here's the call to action. Get 30% off your first subscription to Ketone-IQ at hvmn.com/twist. That's hvmn.com/twist for 30% off. Or you can easily find Ketone-IQ at your local Sprouts Market. It comes in little bottles, and you just take this little shot, boom, you're off to the races.
So next one, this comes up quite often. People want to take a photo of themselves and they want to put it into like a scenario.
Yes.
And so this is, again, just a model that it's not available for commercial use, but like it's more sort of like showing the art of the possible and how quickly this is going.
Okay, this is on Hugging Spaces. You did a model called IP Adapter FaceID Plus demo.
Yep, exactly. And basically what you do is you give it your image, you tell it what you want it to do, you know, the style you want it in. And so in this particular case, I took an older photo of Jake, a newer one as well. I'll show you both. And I basically said hiking in Tahoe, because I know you love that. And basically it gives us, you know, a few great shots of J. Cal. A little bit stylized, but like, you know, you can imagine again going
a little goofy,
back, yeah. But you can imagine going into, you know, what you're talking about, clip art, and you're saying like, where does that go? Well, the effort to go and get a bunch of shots done like this and a bunch of different apparel and things like that would be very difficult. And so it's just becoming simpler and simpler and easier and easier. And here, you know, I took the same model. This one, it actually didn't do as good of a job with.
Yeah, it doesn't look like me. Looks
and
like
it obviously does some weird things as well, where it like, and this one was just a screen grab from a Zoom. And so in this one, we said like front row at a rock concert, right? And it in some ways, it's like as you like playing the guitar, and another one here, you're on
DJ,
stage. And this one, you're like in the control booth because, it's kind of weird. But, you know, look, the point here that, you know, I wanted to kind of highlight is it's becoming easier and easier. This is going to be the next evolution where it's not just images that are freeform generated, but you're going to be able to do it with yourself. There's obviously a bunch of people that are creating influencers, and we showed that a couple episodes ago. This would be you, and if you really wanted to be an influencer and didn't want to go travel, or you couldn't travel, now you can be all over the world, right? So you can put yourself in front of the Taj Mahal or whatever it happens to be.
Or let's say I give my likeness to, you know, a ski company, Rossignol or whoever, because, you know, they know I ski, and they make me an affiliate landing page. So as a micro influencer, they say, hey, Jake Hal, look, we made you a landing page. It's you and every piece of, what is it, Helly Hansen? Is that the HH? That's, I like that ski gear. I wear Helly Hansen
brand. Yeah, all the ski instructors use it, and all.
They seem to make deals with all the ski mountains to put the ski instructors in it. That's where I saw it, and I was like, wow, this stuff really speaks to me. And I bought a Helly Hansen outfit. It's not cheap. It was like maybe $1,000 for a top and a bottom, or $800 combined. It's not cheap, but it lasts for 10 seasons. Like these things are, I think, indestructible.
Yeah.
And now imagine Helly Hansen said, hey, Jake Hal, we'll buy 5 ads on your pod, but we also want to make this landing page for you. So when you go to hellyhansen.com/Jason, it's going to have you in all the images. And so people are making these kind of landing pages for podcast hosts right now. If you go to, if we had like a, you know, whatever /startups, they might put as seen on, and it's like /Jason or /startups for This Week in Startups or /Quist. They'll put my image in a banner image, or they'll put Tim Ferriss's or Joe Rogan or whoever's, and say, as seen on the Joe Rogan page, here's, you know, Element or AG, you know, Athletic Greens. And they'll just make like a landing page. And they found when they put the podcast host on the page, it increased conversion. Now imagine you get the permission for me, which I would be totally fine with. Yeah, just show Jake Hal wearing every different outfit. It's kind of silly. It's kind of fun. But they would never, like you're saying, pay for that. That makes no sense to go have me in Hokkaido and Courchevel and Alta and, Lake Tahoe, all around the world skiing, skiing, but they're close to being able to do it. They just show pictures of me and maybe it increases conversion and amazing. I love it.
Yes.
I give this one, it's not very good. It's like a C+ right now because it doesn't have the fidelity yet. The potential's there, but the fidelity is not. So I give C+.
Yeah, I think it's like it. And look, this is going to iterate quickly. I think I put this in under 90 days. It will be perfect. The fact that, because we just look at how quickly the models went from, like these distorted generations to when we did the influencer, right? And so, and you can already take that and put it through like Magnifique, which is one of the things that we used a couple of weeks ago, and make it look a lot better. So I think in under 90 days, we'll see a better one. But I think the real inspiration is for folks that are in e-commerce using that in the capacity that you talked about, and maybe even creating a marketplace for that where you can make your likeness available and people can take it and go and do that. And I think that would be pretty interesting. So
it's called FaceID. And, there's a website, Hugging Face, and other ones where you can find this kind of stuff. So if you did
models,
you find these models, FaceID space Hugging Face in Google, you'll go to the landing page for it. Or you can go to Hugging Face. And
one of the things that we'll do this year, Jason, is we'll create like a Notion where we'll drop all the links, because a number of people have asked me, hey, because we do these and they got to go try to find them either in the YouTube, and we don't always get them in there. So we'll do a better job this year of sharing the links.
If you go to thisweekinstartups.com/AI, it'll take you to a YouTube playlist of all of our AI shorts and the full episode. So thisweekinstartups.com/AI, and let's make a Notion page as well. In fact, we should probably have /AI go to a Notion page that links to the playlist and has each of these. So let's make a note of
we'll do
making a super Notion page. That'd be easier.
Would appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah. What was yours for the last one? You gave it a C for FaceID?
Oh, FaceID, I'm kind of C. Like I think they could have done a bit of a better job.
I gave a C+. Okay, yeah.
They got to make it commercial as well. Yeah, so C on that one. Okay. Next demo, where we're just cruising through these today. So this is called Pixite. And so what you do here is generative AI custom order close, right? And so very, very similar to, and so, just for the sake of the speed and demo, I did our favorite Bulldog Jedi and t-shirt and basically get it on there. And it allows you to do it in a couple more styles where you could have the whole t-shirt. You can see that over here. You can do it as the entire t-shirt or hoodie, or you can do it just as like a print. Hit it, add to cart, buy now, done. End-to-end integration. I thought this was really good. Super disruptive to, I think, the t-shirt space, creativity, people wanting to, show their individuality.
Amazing. Yes, you can very quickly make yourself a t-shirt. And there was, and who knows the quality of this? This is just kind of like throwing up an image on a t-shirt. It's kind of basic. It's not super thoughtful, but it's quick and easy. Which is also good. There was Teespring, I think, was the company that did a lot of this. And then there was one that came out of Y Combinator that became $1 billion t-shirt company and then went out of business. I remember everybody telling me like, this is going to change the world. It was worth billions. It became a unicorn. And then I think it went down to zero. Yeah. It may have been Teespring. And it was back in 2013. It was like the buzziest startup. Yeah, I think it was Teespring. But I remember getting pitched on it, and their valuations were always like 10 times reality. But Teespring seems to exist, but maybe they sold it or something. Pixite. I give it a C-. It's super basic. It's not super inspiring, but it does show potential. As I showed with Malengo earlier, the one we've invested in, Malengo, MELENGO.com is like for an actual designer making a range of,
Got it. So it's not for the individual, like, hey.
It would be somebody a little more, I would say, pro or semi-pro, whereas this is consumer. So this is a consumer version of Teespring. Make a quick t-shirt for a birthday party or a one-off. Malengo is, I'm creating a boutique or I'm creating a merch store for This Week in Startups or All In.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah. So and I'm going to order 50 at a time minimum, and I'm going to, like these short run. I think you can basically with this compete with somebody like, Kanye West. Yay.
Oh, This is like the whole end to end. So this is much more. Okay.
Pick the fabric. Pick which you want the factories in the US. You want the factories in Malaysia. You want the factory in India. Where do you want the factory?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Which fabric do you want? What quality? What price? Yada, yada. So if you wanted to go up against Spanx, if you wanted to go up against Yeezy, if you wanted to go up against like some known brand, this is how you do it. Malengo. For the other one, Pixite, was it called?
Yeah, Pixite. Yeah.
Yeah. Pixite seems like a really cool one if you wanted to make t-shirts for your bachelor party, t-shirts or socks. Like, I don't want to say gag gifts, but, for an offsite. You're making 10 for an offsite.
Two different purposes, right?
Two different purposes. Yeah, two different use cases. So I give it a C. I'll just give it a straight C. I don't even go minus. It's too negative. I'll give it a C. And I could see it getting better and better.
Yeah. To me, we said this earlier, like the sites that are making t-shirts are going to get here quickly. So the differentiation has to come in the way like that Malengo or other people are thinking about it is, if you already have a t-shirt printing business and you already have that logistics and back end figured out, then to add a AI generator, image generator to it, it's less than 100 lines of code. The
question here for Pixite is, there are t-shirt places where you can upload an image. Would it be better to use Dolly, Stable Diffusion, pick your image generator and then export it and then upload it to a Cafe Press or whatever, Teespring? Or would it be better to use Pixite? And I think it's probably better to use those best of breed image generators right now. So you're right. You have to build something more defensible as a startup. Pixite as a proof of concept, great. Malengo.com as a more fully baked business, better. So I'll give Pixite a C.
Yeah, I kind of give them. I'm going to give them like a B minus. I think it's hard to kind of build that end to end. It's not easy to create something where you can order something, but I do think let's look for some differentiation there.
All right, listen, I got a lot on my plate. I got a couple podcasts I have to work on. I got Founder University. I got my launch accelerator. There's a lot going on, but I'm able to manage it all with amazing software from Coda. Coda is the all-in-one platform that combines the best of documents, spreadsheets, and apps. And when you think about documents, there's always these hidden documents. People have a document on their hard drive in the cloud somewhere, and you don't have access to it as the boss. When you put everything on Coda, all of that stuff is in one location. You can search and you can find this stuff. And we have been building apps in Coda to run Founder University. Now, Founder University is getting huge. Hundreds of companies go through it every quarter. And we want those companies to give us a weekly update when they're in the program. Well, we built a database inside of Coda to manage those weekly updates. And this sends automatic reminders to our founders. Hey, founder, send us your weekly update. Then we track the week over week growth and we generate beautiful charts. So if we see growth, we can reach out to that founder and invest. It's all done through Coda. We're automating everything. We're keeping everything in Coda. We don't want to lose any data. The product market fit and the product velocity at Coda is unbelievable. And you can get started with Coda for free right now. They'll even give your startup $1,000 in credit at coda.io/twist. That's a special limited time offer for startups, so get it now. And that means you can begin planning and doing all this work for free. Coda.io/twist and get that $1,000 credit. Can't beat that price. I love the team at Coda. Really fantastic team over there. And I know you're going to love Coda too.
All right. We're going to get into it like a category of demos here, which is things that are taking on kind of like the Photoshop stack plus generative AI. And so I'm going to start with this, so Clipdrop is, we've touched on this a few times, and they have a whole bunch of tools here that can do like, everything from like generation, face swapping, like we've shown, remove backgrounds, clean up. In particular, I'm just going to focus on one of their tools today, which is called SDXL Turbo. So I can say, I'm just going to use a Jedi Bulldog. And what you'll see is real time, it's generating it.
Wow.
And then I can say, fighting a Sith Lord cat.
Wow.
Right?
Whoa. That's fast.
Yeah. And so,
it's not accurate, but it's fast.
But yeah, and look, you can kind of you can have it kind of keep regenerating, right? On a platform or something, right? And so that one got really messed up there.
Well, there's a platform. 8 arms.
Yeah. And so maybe we could let it kind of redo it. There we go. So that's still not right.
So what's unique about this is that as you're doing the sentence, it's making the images. Now, in order to do this, you have to open up. Correct me if I'm wrong. A pipe, an instance with a very high-powered back-end computer.
Correct.
And so while we're doing this, this uses a lot more CPU than putting in a query, hitting enter and waiting, correct? And queuing it up.
Correct. 100%. And so, and you need to get the model to be faster, you need the hardware to be faster, you need the software that's wrapped around all that to be optimized. Yes. But what we're going to see here is in 2023, we got used to this notion of type something and generate slowly, or like type something and wait 30, 90 seconds for it to be, an image to come out. Now, if you want to do that, like rapid prototyping, it's here for us, right? And so, in a car, right? And so you'll see it just kind of start moving faster and faster. Now, you can see it's not perfect yet because now we've lost the notion of Jedi Bulldog. It's a Bulldog in a car. But, for rapid iteration, I think we're starting to see that emerge now. And this is like this model, it's not as good as a sort of like, I think, cutting edge models on producing exactly what the text is, but to be able to do it quickly and do it, hundreds of iterations in 2-3 minutes, I think that's going to be powerful.
So the way to do this actually is I'm doing it with you live here. And so SDXL, what this does is it lets you in real time create images based on a sentence, an input. So I typed in bulldog, I got a bulldog. So I'm going to say bulldog photo, and I added a word, and then it changed. And then I say bulldog photo in a frame, and now it's in a frame. Then I say on a wall, in a castle, by a fireplace. And as you can see, it's kind of starting to nail this. It's got some hallucinations, obviously, with 2 knights on either side. And so, not exactly correct.
Now we're pushing the limits, but we see where this goes. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you did Jedi Knight, in a city with a droid and fireworks, it's kind of, as you describe and make the scene more rich, it kind of works. So this is, I could see this for somebody who's making a movie and making storyboards or writing a comic book on a brainstorming level, but not for output. So we're in still the brainstorming level here. Now, what it's not doing is giving you other forks. And I think Grok was doing this, where it was kind of showing you the forking or whatever. Yeah. What I would like to do here is when you start typing Jedi Knight, if it was auto-completing or showing me this is 7 things that I think could come next, fighting is one,
that, like, what are my other, branches?
Yeah, exactly. And I put in Jango Fett. It doesn't get Jango Fett. I put Darth Vader. Oh, no, it did. Boom. Yeah. And so now we've got 2 Jango Fetts fighting each other. So I give this, now I'm going to be a little bit generous here. I'm giving this a B+.
Okay.
It's wrong a lot, but that's going to get fixed, right? You always say that over time, these things get cleaned up. But the potential here and the speed at which this is working shows the promise. So in one instance, you might want perfection. You're going to put something and the output is the title of a blog post, or it's going to be in a newspaper, a magazine, or, in storyboards. But if we're brainstorming, this is better than waiting. So I think we're going to start to see the technology and the hardware catch up. And this gives us a little, if you just imagine this being perfect, man. And then, of course, this has no respect for copyright. So I give it a B+, and then I take away the plus for the copyright infringement. I give it a B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm in B+, and I think what we're going to start to see is we're just there's a classic well-known trade in Silicon Valley, which is the faster you make something, the more people start to use it, right? And so
Google being the example, or Facebook,
exactly. And so that's it. We are there now, and with this speed and people being able to iterate this quickly, we're going to see a lot more people start to use these things, because the way they were last year, and even DALL-E sometimes, right? You're waiting 15, 30 seconds to be able to do this at this pace. I think we're going to see a lot of innovation come from it. And so to me, this is just an enabler to a bunch of new things Yeah,
we got to reach my usage cap.
Yeah,
It's like, enough. You're killing our servers, Jacob.
Yeah, exactly.
Wolverine and Professor X in the field with Magneto. Sorry, you got to pay us something.
Yeah. And, the output of this, like we saw with, the folks that let people upload stories and all that. And, we have a couple bets that we made. These are going to be the enablers to some of those bets. And so I'm very, very excited by this. I think the team has done a great job. I think making it work, the entire stack, like you mentioned in the start, is impressive. So B+ for me.
Okay, here we go. B and B+. Very good. We're cooking with oil. Let's do another one. Okay. I love the pace today. I love the pace.
This is, and I want to give, Stability and Clipdrop. They have a similar set of functions, but like Storia here, they've kind of created a modern Photoshop. And so for me, my use of Photoshop isn't like layers and all that kind of stuff. I just use it for basic stuff. And so we've all been generating these images, and we notice that we get this like weirdo text sometimes. And so they've made this tool pretty easy. So I can take this. I have this image here that I took from one of their default images, clean up, get this brush here, just cover these things right here, click apply. And what you'll see is very quickly, sort of that weirdo text will get removed, and they just make, all these type of functions super easy to do here. And so here's my image. I guess I didn't get it perfectly there, but like you get the idea that all the work that's done here, that, if you got a meme and you want to clean it up, and Jacob, we know you love the memes. And so, but you want to get rid of someone else's text. And so you can take this and,
nice.
Clean it up real easily and do that here. Let's get that little bit here. And so I don't have enough credit, so I've done it too many times, but I think everyone gets the idea.
But Storia lets you pick your model. You can use Stability, SDXL.
Yeah.
You can use Dolly 3, you can use Leonardo.
You can use different models, exactly. So they're like a Photoshop where they're letting you kind of pick the different models that you want to use underneath the hood.
Yeah, see, I would like to have it use 5 different models and show me 5 different pieces of output in real time. Now, I know that costs 5 times as much, and everything is about cost right now.
Yeah.
And this is slow as heck. So I think that they're probably throttling this, or they got a lot of usage because they don't want to have to spend a bunch of money.
And like in the free tiers, I think when you go into the paid tiers, it gets a little bit better. And the thing that I find weird is like everyone wants to get you on like an annual subscription. Like I want to try these things out, but like I don't want to pay you annually. Like, to be honest, as I'm demoing these, I just want to do.
No, they're like $199 a year or $20 a day, and you're like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Just give me like $10 a month. Give me divide 199 by 12 or 10 and give me $20 a month.
Let's make it easier and let's do that. And so
it's a money grab, and I understand. I mean, listen, I saw this happen with startups, com.com, other places. They just really got into yearly pricing. And then what's great about yearly pricing is it increases consumption. It lowers cognitive decision making and the tyranny of choice. Every month having to, if you had to pay for Amazon Prime monthly, it would kill you.
Yep.
You could be like, I didn't order anything this month. But then, in November, when you ordered a ton of stuff for Christmas, you'd be like, oh, this is so worth it. So you want to remove cognitive load. Monthly subscriptions increase cognitive load.
So here I got some more credits, and basically you can see here I got rid of the bottom text.
This is incredible. I give this B+. It's really getting there. It's a B+. The features are getting there.
I like this particular one where it's like you can do like the seasonal logo. So you can like take a logo and you can say, oh, that's my usual logo. Make a, I don't know, let's do.
Make up. This is a real thing. Make my, logo for Amazon, a Christmas logo, and put a Santa hat on it. Make a Thanksgiving one and put a turkey on it. So brilliant.
Remember, Google used to do this, or I think they still do it, but no one goes to google.com, but like you get the idea. They've kind of got like all the little features. I really like it. I think it's clean, and this is really disruptive. Photoshop's become quite expensive. I don't know if you subscribe to their cloud.
I think it's $25 a month, $30 a month for Creative Cloud.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's hundreds of dollars a year. It's thousands of dollars. Over 5 years or whatever.
So, here's my little Storia logo, just done in different ways. Yeah. I think it's great.
What's really interesting is at some point you'll trust AI to do this. So if you were to go from, I don't know, Hotel Tonight, Expedia, let's say a travel site, and you were based in New York City. It would make the logo for people from New York City, and then it would, if you were from France, it would put an Eiffel Tower there, whatever. You can really start to customize things. People do geolocation already. It kind of guesses you're in Japan. It gives you some accoutrement automatic. for Japan, right? And the logo.
Yes.
So you can imagine, or like, let's say you're a power user and you order on average 10 or more items from Amazon. It just gives you a power user interface, a power user logo.
Well,
and so you can start to customize interfaces based upon, the design of it, the UX, the experience could be done automagically with AI. So this one, I give it a B plus.
Like hyper customization. I just did, like
the launch logo. Yeah, it's incredible. Look at that. I mean, it's really fun actually to take our investment firm's thing and then just, July 4th, have it do this. Yeah. It's great. This is something that designers used to do as a job function. You might,
there we go. Look at that.
There you go. Look at Christmas. It wrapped the This Week in Startups logo in some presents. This is something that a designer would do for the year. It might be a 3-month project at Apple or Google. And you might have a designer or a design team work on this for a month or two and say, hey, let's make an editorial calendar where we make fun logos for the year. Now, maybe instead of taking 2 months, it takes 2 days or 2 hours. Yeah. So months to weeks to days to hours. That's really where I'm looking at AI. What used to take months and can now take weeks. What took weeks can take days, and what took days can take hours. And if you can make a double jump in that, that's where you're really in a great place. Sonny, what do you give this? Storia?
I like Storia. I'm going to give them an A-.
Okay. So we're just right there on the line. B plus, A-. Love it. Yeah. Let's do one more. I know you got one more here.
Okay. I've got one more, and this is like a 2-part, but this is going to lead, the second part of this is going to be one of our worst grades, I'm assuming. And I'll tell you why. Okay. Because, I think people need to tighten things up a little bit. So basically, tighten it up. Yeah. And so that's also, as we're in 2024, we got to commercialize. So if you ever done anything in like motion creation, what you have now is you can basically, there's a model here again by the Open Motion Lab where I can create these motions of people doing anything. So I can say, person doing jumping jacks. And what this will do is it will give me both a video and like an output file that I can take into, like a 3D file that I can take into my tool of choice here. And so why this is important is we're entering another era in AI. And so this is still generating here. Maybe I have to restart the page, but
no, it's taking a while because I just did a person doing a sidekick and it's still generating.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I think we slammed the server with 2 queries at the same time.
We did, yeah.
So it's called Motion GPT, and it's a model that allows you to put in a prompt
by Open Motion Lab.
Yeah, by Ocean Motion Lab, and this allows you to create a 3D model of a human doing that action. So your text input and your output is a 3D model of a human doing that. I'm assuming you could then export this and put it into Unity and make a video game out of it, or an action, or do motion. I guess it's kind of like motion capture using AI instead of using a motion capture suit. Am I correct? Something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Like in the past, either you'd have to get an animator to do this, or you would have to have someone wear a suit and then you'd go create rigs and all that kind of stuff. And so now you can do it all with AI.
And you can also do this text to motion like we're doing, but you can also do motion to text.
Yes.
Which is kind of interesting. So I guess you can upload something doing a motion and get a description of what they just did.
Correct.
Kind of fascinating as well.
Yeah.
So this is going to be super fascinating. It's pretty rudimentary, but C+.
Okay.
I'm not sure who this is for either.
Let me tell you where it goes, because this is like a 2-part one, right? Because this is sort of like, so you can use this if you're creating video games and NPCs, or you're trying to. Now, where this really goes, and this one wasn't working earlier, so I was a little bit upset. But this is a model that was actually released by, I believe, Alibaba. What this is, and we saw these at the end of last year. We didn't get a chance to demo one of these. I couldn't get this to work today, but the idea here is you can take a person and then you can select an animation, and that animation can be a video or it can be one of those, like we were just showing before. And if you bring those two things together, you can not only have now a photo of J-Cal skiing in Niseko, but you could have him doing a sidekick without ever having to him done the sidekick, been there, or any of those kind of things.
Okay, so this is super interesting. So we have Motion GPT to define a motion based on a text input. Then you have this other model, which is Drea, is it called?
DreaMoving, yeah.
DreaMoving, DREA moving. You pick an image of a person, and then it puts them into a scenario where they're doing some movement, like typically a dance. You could be doing the floss dance or something. What you could do here, back to the stock image thing, again, I'm doing a campaign for Helly Hansen. Now they're putting pictures of me in different outfits. Then you have also me skiing in Niseko or Hella skiing in Alaska in that outfit. So you get to see me not only wearing the outfit, but you get to see me skiing in the outfit, or you upload your images, or your images are already in your wallet of some kind, and you say, show me in this outfit, and you get to see yourself skiing in the outfit or whatever. And you can send it to your friends and say, hey, how do I look in this? Or your spouse and say, hey, do you think I look good in this? Should I try this outfit on? And then you don't need a stylist, or you don't need a photographer to go do this photo shoot, or a videographer to go do a video shoot. It's incredible. So these two things are like a C. Motion GPT is a C, and the other one's like a B for me.
Well,
put them both together.
Working, so I was really upset by the.
So maybe a C and a C then. 2 C's.
Yeah.
I'm going to give 2 C's
because I'm at the same spot as you. Look, this is where now we need, there's so much innovation happening. It's so cutting edge, but things are not starting to work, or they're too slow. So we need more advancement happening here, and I think we're going to get that in the next couple of months. The limitation is, like what you said, the hardware on the back end, and the speed of being able to run these models and reliability. And I think,
said another way.
Yep.
The last 2 years have been proof of concepts, and now we want proof. Not a proof of concept. We want the actual proof that we can then go use it in the real world. So proof of concept to usable concept, right? Usable proof. And so, great start, everybody. But in 2024, the rating system is not going to allow for just proof of concept or potential. Generally speaking, it's the year of execution.
We've been wowed. Now we want to see it. Yeah, we want to see it working. We want to see the end to end. We want to see it more than just the simple idea.
Yeah, if I can't use it in the real world, then you failed. So the last 2 years, great. But it has to be usable. I have to say, we're doing the curriculum for Founder University. We had some new people on the staff, and I said, go ahead and start using ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, Poe, models you want, but start asking it questions about startup advice that you hear, or questions you hear people asking, and see where it directs you. And it was amazing. The corpus on the web is so good that it uncovered, and people were sharing their threads from ChatGPT 4, and it was like, here are essays from me, Paul Graham, Fred Wilson, et cetera, notable content about different concepts. And you really can catch up having a discussion with ChatGPT 4. I feel like it's moving from, now I wouldn't write the curriculum in it, but when you're researching and building curriculum, it can really start you on second base and pointing to you to stuff that you may have forgotten about. Like people forget about Steve Blank and Eric Ries now from Lean Startup. And I think Steve Blank had written some books that really inspired Eric Ries. And this is 15, 20 years ago on product market fit and, the science of startups. So it's like Steve Blank to Eric Ries to Raul from Superhuman, Vora, and other folks who kind of picked up on the same advice, Paul Graham in between there, or maybe at the same time as Eric Ries. Everybody was kind of getting to the same thinking, and it's really starting to work of putting that information together and getting people to outcomes, right? And this education thing is, I think, really wild. How quickly people are going to learn stuff. Oh, my daughter, we were sitting there and we were having chocolate. I got 3 different people know I like dark chocolate, so they sent me a bunch of chocolate. Thank you to the people who sent me chocolate. Dandelion Chocolate sent me some chocolate, etc. My daughter was like, what's the difference between dark chocolate and milk chocolate? And I said, well, I think it's milk. And so then it came up and it was like, yes, the amount of milk solids in chocolate determines how dark it is. Dark chocolate has almost none. Milk chocolate has a whole bunch. And then it just explained it perfectly. And then we started watching YouTube videos. So I used to go to YouTube first, watch a video with her to learn. Yep. Now I'm starting with ChatGPT and then backing into YouTube.
Okay. And your go-to still not Bard, because Bard will bring those videos up, but you're still not doing that.
I just happen
the name is a challenge.
I have the ChatGPT app. I don't have a Bard app. The Bard interface is garbage. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be too critical, but the Bard interface feels kind of janky and garbagey. I said this already. We had this, I told Samurai Sergey, just go steal, like get Johnny Ive or somebody and make a beautiful app that's elegant and simple. Sundar, somebody clipped this and sent to Sundar, like people experience Bard through an app.
Yep.
No app, no bueno. I don't know how many employees do you need to have to understand that people want a gorgeous iOS app? I'm sorry that you made Android. I'm sorry it's the second tier. Make a goddamn iOS app that's beautiful. Period. Full stop. And if you don't have people, go steal people. You have unlimited resources. Give people $10 million a year, find the 5 best designers in the world, spend $50 million making a gorgeous interface, make 5 different interfaces for God's sake, and do a bake-off for 5 different gorgeous interfaces for Bard. This is what I would do. Seriously, I'm not joking. If I was in charge, if I was Sundar and Sergey, I would be so on fire about this. I would create 5 teams.
Yep.
I'd lock them up. I'd say you get $10 million each to build a team. You could have 5 people at $2 million. You could have 3 people at $3 million. I don't care what it is. Overpay people, give them bonuses. And whoever makes the best one, I'm going to have all 5 on my phone, and whichever one I use the most is the winner. And we're going to let the audience download 5 different versions. We're going to have 5 Bards, Bard 1 through 5. I know this sounds crazy. I would release Bard 1 through 5, Bard experiments. Yep. There's 5 different interfaces for Bard, and you get to name it Bard something.
Yeah.
And then just let the audience play with it and tell you, because ChatGPT's interface is elegant and simple.
It's clean and simple. Well, and it's also, we're talking about the things we were doing today, but highly personalized and customized. And I think you could also go down that path. Let people start create something that's customizable with these designers so that it works for you. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's that, but designers understand how to make something elegant and simple. You don't need, it doesn't need to be rocket science. You look at Calm, you look at Uber, you look at DoorDash. Now, some of those like DoorDash and Uber are complicated interfaces, but they're still elegant.
Yep.
ChatGPT-4, elegant. You could say what you want about Slack in year 10. It's a little convoluted at times, but it's still elegant. Come up with an identity, an elegant one, and run with it. Make it beautiful. Let's Instagram, TikTok. I mean, some of them have gotten a little long in the tooth, like Instagram with a lot of different features, but still pretty elegant, right? And I think that's one of the nice things about starting from zero is you can make something really simple. ChatGPT-4 is very simple.
Yeah.
It's like you just
super clean.
Bard, not clean. And then everybody thinks like that the world is on desktop. You did this with Extreme Labs. You have to be building stuff on an app, not on the desktop, mobile first. Yeah. And I told my dev team at Inside, I don't want websites anymore. I said, I'm forbidding you from building a website.
Yes.
I only want an app. Spend 0 cycles. Like, we have to build a website. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Just build the app. I don't want to see a website anymore. I only want to see an app. 100% focus on app. Because if you let devs sitting at their desktop and designers sitting at their desktop, what are they going to build? They're in a browser like we are right now. That's 20 or 30% of web traffic today. What percent of traffic is?
I don't even know. But I mean, in consumer use cases, it's probably less than 5%. Like who is ever pulling up your laptop or whatever it is, your desktop to open something up?
I mean, I shop on Amazon on my desktop when I'm making considered purchases.
Wow. Okay.
When I'm making considered purchases.
Okay.
Because I might have multiple windows open. But I would say 4 out of 5 purchases, I'm in the Amazon app and it's just fine. The end.
Yeah.
But people are on their phones more. People are addicted to their phones. And something like Twitter, Instagram, I'm sure even Amazon. It's got to be I wonder what percentage Amazon is.
Oof.
Web versus desktop versus mobile. That'd be really interesting to see.
I think it would be Amazon. I think it'd be well above 55%. Like how many purchases do you just make? Like, I forgot about this. I just got to make that right now. And you go in and do that. There's like a huge, huge use case there.
Let's see. Amazon from SEM Rush. Desktops drive 40%, 60% mobile. And that's for Amazon. And I don't even know. That's November 2023.
Wow. Okay.
So that's pretty. And for a website like Google.com, let's see. Worldwide, number 1. Country rank, number 1. Mobile, 83.5.
There you go. Yeah.
84%. Google's 84%. And Bard doesn't have an app.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Now, what is YouTube? What do you think YouTube is? YouTube.com. This is according to SEMrush.
YouTube will have a different
Number 2 website in the world.
Wow.
Number 2 website in the world.
Wow.
Oh my God, this is incredible. This is unbelievable. SEMrush.com. What do you think? This is so interesting. You and I have been in this business since before the web browser existed.
Yes.
I'm shocked by this number. YouTube traffic. Mobile, take a guess, versus desktop. This is bonkers. This shows you generational.
85%. Just
88% mobile. Wow, you did it, Sandeep. 12% desktop. Only 12% of people are watching YouTube on their desktop. But we all think, people who work in the industry, we just all think like, oh, desktop's 50-50 or something. It's not. It's over, people. We lost. Desktop is not the interface. I wonder what Notion. Notion
will be the other way around. Notion
should be. Notion.so. Wow, Notion's global rank, 991 already.
Wow.
That's extraordinary. 108 million visits to their website. Holy cow. Let's see if you can guess this one. Yeah, this is really interesting. What is Notion's desktop versus their mobile?
It's got to be like 75% desktop.
86% desktop, the opposite. Yes. So a business website, if I went to salesforce.com.
That's going to be in the 90s. That's completely unusable on
80%. 80%.
Well, that's low.
20%.
I'm surprised. You can't use Salesforce.
Well, I mean, I think it might be people going to the Salesforce website to research Salesforce, right? There's some number of that. Twitter.com. Let's see if they still put it under Twitter.com or X. Twitter.com. Global rank. 6 worldwide.
6. I saw that recently. Yeah.
Desktop versus mobile. What do you think? Twitter.com. Desktop versus mobile.
Mobile on Twitter. I'm going to say 87.
I don't think. I think it's... Well, I don't know if it takes into account...
I would say 87% mobile.
Wow. 83% mobile.
Yeah.
83% comes from mobile devices. Wow. That is crazy. Of Twitter's traffic, 68% direct, 15% Google, 1.6% from YouTube. Pretty
wild.
Okay. We'll see you all next time on This Week in Startups. Go to thisweekinstartups.com/AI to see all the AI segments we've done in history. If you want to get included in the Monday Rundown, go to x.com/TWI startups and send us a tweet, or you can CC at Jason and at Sundeep with 2 E's. See you next time.
Yes.
Bye-bye.